Okay, old guy Bonsai here, and this is a rock. And this is a juniper, and this is gonna go onto that. So let's see how it goes. One of the first things we want to do is use our mucko. Muck is just like peat and some clay and some other stuff. Helps it really to stick in the crevices here, and then it gives the roots and things something to hold on to on the rock. Once we get the muck applied, I'll start getting the tree attached, and we'll see how that goes. Okay, so I read a bunch of different ways, excuse me, on how to do this. So what I've done is I've applied a very thin layer of the muck onto the rock, into the places where the tree is going to sit initially. Different opinions vary, but it seems that it will help retain some moisture in there, as well as give the roots something to grow into, and then, help hold on to the rock. So that is step one. I'm going to invest in a turntable one of these days. I swear I am. So here's the way the rock looks. A really nice rock. Now, the good news is I've done this once before. The bad news is I did it at the wrong time of the year, and the juniper crapped and died. So let's see what it looks like once we start getting the tree on. Okay, so I've kind of got the tree positioned as I like it. It's going to be a pseudo cascade style with, I'm going to try to do dead on tops. Eventually, we're going to trim all this out. But you can see you've got a nice big root here, which is going to wrap. Trying to section off the roots so the roots will go into the natural curve of the rock, right? So this is going to come down around here. This chunk is going to come right down here. This one is probably going to wrap around to here or down, and just work our way around the roots onto the back and press it into the muck, and then apply more muck on top to basically glue it down. And then I'll use some saran wrap or plastic film, depending upon where you're at, and that'll hold everything in place after it's wired. And theoretically, that will, like do the greenhouse thing, hold all the moisture in and all that stuff, and promote growth. Well, let's start sticking muck. Okay, so we've got it positioned where we want it. I diddled with it for a while and turned it around, but I think this is going to be a good angle for this. Have a nice rock with the cascade and see if it can develop something at the top, right? So I've got it wired, held in place. It's all covered with muck. I'm going to cover the top half with that wrap, and I'm going to bury it, about yay deep. So this will all be above ground. You gotta stop knocking stuff off. So the tree will all be above. This will all be in the pot so it doesn't get too warm. Allow, hopefully, the roots to promote growing down and around and around. So we'll be back after we give it a wrap. But if you look, it's starting to come along. If I can do this. How do you guys do these videos? I will never know. I need 4 extra hands. Maybe a better camera mount would be helpful too. Lighting, those things. But you get the general idea. All right, so there we are. Back in a bit. And lo and behold, here's the final in-process version for this step. So it's all wrapped. I left the bottom open. I didn't wrap the bottom. So hopefully in 6 months, a year, 2 years, it'll end up growing out the bottom. As it starts to grow, and you can see new growth, and it's actually going to be doing its thing, then you can start to take this back, in maybe end of the year, next spring. I'll start to take this off and see how these roots are doing, if it survives. So that's our root over rock juniper. We'll see what happens. Peace out.